Hello, guys and girls. This is Jokester. Welcome back to FTB Unstable. Hey, stop waving that thing at me. Today we got a good episode in store for you. We just got back from the end. We just got a ton of ender pearls. We're very happy about that. I did a little bit of remodeling. Just tried these factory blocks. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying out some things. I hung up my banners and so on. I dumped all my experience off. I got a ton of experience now. Let me dump a little bit more in there. Let's see, what else did I do? I added a second diamond generator. I don't think I showed that on camera. I put up my brewing stand on another factory block here. I'm probably going to change these basalt bricks out there. There's another fashion of this that isn't quite so much a brick. It's more modeled after this style with a beveled edge. I'm going to do that. Put in these glowing glass here just so I can see out. These glowing glass is actually from extra utilities. It generates light. So I can take down some of my torches, at least around here. Still need them in other places. Hung up my dragon head. I think I showed you that. So that's pretty much all I've done in the past, except I have gone outside and done some terraforming. So let me grab a whole bunch of these, and I want to show you something that I kind of figured out myself and have always wondered. So I wanted to make a builder's wand, and I'm used to the better builder's wand, but I also saw the extra utilities builder wand. So let's take a look at the difference between these two in case you guys either always wondered or are going to make one of these builder wands. And so if we take a look at something like this is the extra utilities builder wand now. Now I've got in my inventory, I've got dirt. And so it'll work in lots of different fashions, all right, just as we would expect. So I can fill that in, I can fill that in, I can fill this in irregular. Let's take a look at the diamond wand. You notice it doesn't work on grass. It only works on dirt. So if I wanted to put it here, I can only put it right here because it also doesn't work when grass is there. If I were to go here, it works no problem. It'll replace the grass. But this only works where there's actual dirt, because that's what I have. I don't have grass. So that's kind of frustrating, but I can actually do really large swaths with this. See, I can't fill that in. I'd have to go right here, but then I can do that. Well, now that frustratingly leaves me a space here. So yeah, that's kind of cool, right? Until I hit some grass. But then what I can do is great big swaths. Let me see if I can get it to work here. Come on. Oh, it's already growing back. There we go. There's a great big swath right there, right? Now let's see what this does. That's all the further it does. So really there's pros and cons between all those. So if I want to do that, that's all in one fell swoop. So there is some benefit to doing this diamond wand. It's just, right? It's just going to skip over those things. So I wouldn't say you need both of them. You just beware, right? That there's pros and cons to each of them. So I made this great big area because we're going to do something with those ender lilies. We're going to plant them. So that's what we're going to work towards today. But in the meantime, I've got all this Pam's Harvest Craft. We got some root stuff coming in. There's a lot of stuff I just don't want right now. So I love that my builder block is gathering all this, but I just don't want it. I don't want to dedicate space to storing it. So I made myself an advanced item filter. Let's see what that will do. So you notice that I have a trash can here. And if we look at the filter has already got these things on here. Very basic stuff. Insert, basic filter. It allows me to have 5 items. But the advanced filter allows me to have up to 10. And so that's cool, but I can use any side of this, up to all 6 sides of a trash can, and have up to 10, let's say 10 per side. That would allow me to filter out 60 different items. Well, I just want to add 10 more. The problem is that I can re-break this and put this on here, but there's a better way to do it. And so far we haven't actually made this. I went and made this right before the episode, and let me put these other wands away. There's one more wand. Actually, I'm going to pull it out so I don't forget. There's one more wand, I made the Yeta wrench. So the Yeta wrench allows you to, if you right click, it will, change the direction on this. It will toggle the different states for this, like to not show it. But if I shift left click, so I'm shifting now, right? Shift left click, it actually brings up the interface. I'm sure many of you realize this, but for those who don't, I just want to point that out. Now, what I can do is I could get underneath here and, and try to right click with it and so on. Or if I just shift left click this intersection, I can actually enable it. But I don't want to do that yet, because if I do, well, let's shift left click on this, things will start coming out. So what I want to do is I want to turn this off first. I don't want to pull all this stuff out yet, because it'll go into the trash can. Because as soon as I hit it over to insert to put my filter in, the insert side, everything will dump because I got the speed increase. So something I forget all the time. But in this case, I don't have to worry about it. I want to insert. In fact, just cycling through that past the in and out would have emptied that trash in a heartbeat. So we want insert. We want this. Let's grab appetite. This 2, 3. Let's see, that's 4 already. 5, 6. I see those. 7, 8. Definitely spruce saplings. 9, and I don't see too many beans, but I do see these red currants. There's 10 right there. So there's our 10 right there. That'll help out immensely. Mostly this appetite. That's the big one. So I do that, and spruce saplings. I've already got, I think, 2 stacks. If not 1 stack, I got 2 stacks of those. In case I ever need them in the future, it'll be all good. Now, I want to make sure that I whitelist this. There we go. And last one is that. So I want to whitelist this, right? I can turn on OR dictionary in case anything else is OR dictionary against that. I don't want to match NBT data. I don't think I want to match metadata. So basically I want to be all encompassing as possible, right? So I want to whitelist. I want to enable anything else that matches this, and don't match these guys. Okay. So let's put these back in. Actually, let's leave them out just to show proof of concept. So we're going to shift left click here. We're going to enable that. One thing is, I always like the active without signal only because it's right away. Other people do the always active. It really doesn't matter. They both work the same. Unless you have a redstone signal near, then it will act differently. But now that we're doing that, I need to, let's see, one of these ways you can get it to rotate. I had accidentally rotated this. I never figured out the way. Is it shift? There's one of the ways. Is it on top? There we go. If you hit it on top with the wrench, it always rotates it. So there, now they're all gone. And watch this. If I put these in there. Oh, quick, grab that out. Grab that out. There we go. It's not going anywhere, but there we go. So now we filtered out all those ugly, nasty stuff as well as all of these guys. So we should be good to go. I'm going to grab this obsidian. I still don't have a place for it, but we don't have a good amount of obsidian yet, so I've just been storing them there. Finally up to half a stack. Okay. Whew. The next thing is this staff. So this staff is pretty cool. It's called the Sojourner staff, and it's from Reliquary, and the recipe is pretty simple. It's really just a molten core. We've got several of those, gold, blaze rod, and this empty void tier. So it's a gas tier, a slime pearl, a lapis, and a nebulous heart. We've got all of that, so pretty simple. What it does is, watch this, chink, chink, allows you to put these at a distance. So which is really cool. When you break them, they actually come back into your inventory. I don't know if I like that or not, but I kind of wish they would go back in there now that I'm going to be using this permanently, but that's cool. So the other thing is it consumes torches, but the longer the distance, the more it costs. So 169 right now, if I place that, 168. If I place, so remember we're at 168, if I place it from over here, really cool that we can do that, but instead of 168, we're down to 164. So it does consume more. Now you might ask, how do I fill this up? I think that's going to need one. Yep, right there. How do I fill this up? Well, any torches in your inventory, all you have to do is just shift right click, and look at that. They all fill up. Now instead of the 100 and whatever I had in there, now I've got 232. So really cool. I think it stores up to 512 or 256, one of the two in there. So excellent. Now I can store more than a stack. I never have to worry. Well, I don't have to worry about running out for quite a while. Let's just put it that way. So that's very cool. So we've got both those builders wand talked about. We talked about Sojourner staff. Pretty cool stuff. We put this away. We're not going to need this right now. Now, let's get to planting those ender lilies. So we want to do a farming station. Now, the farming station, it doesn't take a lot of power, but it can really, suck down. It's a constant 40 RF per tick that it sucks down. And we're only making 160 here. These guys are solely dedicated to the builder. That's my main source. And it's pulling in wood and stuff. I haven't had to do the conventional stuff. The conventional stuff would be have your wheat farm and get food. Let me show you something real quick. Speaking of food, I never showed you this. Let's grab, that's good enough. So if you were to able to do this, we make spruce slabs. Let's make that many. All right. And then we take these one more time, they make these drying racks. So if I were to put these drying racks, let's put them back, I don't know, right here. No, you know what? I like them up higher. Let's put them up like right here. 3, 4. Now you can do a lot of different things. What I normally do is, let's just grab 4 for right now. What I normally do is, since I get a lot of zombie flesh, is I put these on here. And they dry and they turn into monster jerky. So instead of these, which poison you, once you dry them out, this is from Tinker's, by the way, the drying rack. But once they dry out, they turn into zombie jerky, and you can actually eat them. So you never have to worry about food because we're constantly getting an influx of flesh. So anyway, that's kind of a non-standard way of doing things. Yes, you can build a wheat farm and a potato farm and cook up your potatoes and so on. What I've been doing is just any mob that I kill, I run across and I'm running low, I just kill a few of them and just generally eat that. I don't do a lot of hopping when I run. So there's my triple jump. Actually, I think I might only have double jump. Nope, got it. I do have jump 3. Yeah, that's right. So that's really cool. But I like to do things non-standard, especially since this is my second time playing through Unstable. So that's why I'm only surviving on effectively 1 diamond generator, which is 160 RF per tick. So I could go the traditional route. The traditional route would be to do a power cell, right? You get 2 of these, 1 inside, 1 out there, and power it. I could do the dimensional transceiver. When I do the dimensional transceiver, you can see that it's an ender crystal, which is an ender vial. So I do have an enderman soul vial. So that's part of it, right? And then you have to have this guy, which is vibrant crystals, which is effectively a ender pearl. It requires this ender resonator, which is enderman head, and then an octatic capacitor, which is 2 more ender pearls. It's kind of expensive, especially considering where we are right now. And you need 2 of these, 1 inside, 1 outside. Power cells are definitely cheaper, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to power this thing, this 40 RF per tick thing. I'm going to power it with a solar cell. There's our solar cell. Now, this one does 10 RF. This does 40 RF per tick, and this does 160. If you look at the difference between these two, it's still 2 ender pearls. We're good for that, but it's basic capacitor, and that's about the only difference between these two. You notice it uses pulsating iron, so 2 more ender pearls plus 2 here, so that's 4 total, but double layer. But effectively, they're very similar. It's enlightened fused quartz versus regular fused quartz. It's not that hard, and both of them use a daylight sensor. But you know what? That 40 RF per tick, we're actually going to use this. So I need a daylight sensor. Let me get one of those. We're going to power this 40 RF per tick with this 10 RF per tick. How, do you ask? Well, we're going to use something from RF Tools called a sequencer. That's it right there. Sequencer is pretty cool. Now, let me talk real quick about this since I don't know. Hey guys, what you doing? What are you doing? You're just checking out what we're doing? Are you learning about solar capacitors? Yeah, you don't even know what vibrant alloys are. Energetic alloys are just foreign to you. What are you doing? All right. I tell you what. I want to send you to a better place because right now I can tell that's miserable for you. He's running. You just see him run away. That was pretty cool. Yeah, he knows what's coming. He's like, like he's running in place. He can't even move. He's so stunned. All right, enough silliness. All right, so you've seen this. What this does, this timer, just does an RF, a redstone. Yeah, I can't get over here. It does a redstone signal every X, right? Every whatever you set this to. The problem is it's a burst, and so we want the farming station to turn on for a while and then turn back off. And so it'd be really nice to have some way to automate that and say run for, let's say, 10 seconds and turn off for, how long do ender pearls take? Even on endstone? A long time. So don't run for 10 minutes and then run for 10 seconds. Can you see how we can get by with only 10 RF per tick? That's what we're going to do, and that's what the sequencer allows us to do. So let me craft this up. I'm sure, yep, I'm missing all of these, so let me make 4 of these. Okay, so last thing we need is the actual farming station. So we're going to need a Z-Logic. Let's get that guy started first. All right, so we'll need 2 of these, 2 of these, 1 of these, and hold on. Oh, yeah, zombie head. Zombie head. Let's get that going while we're doing the other things. Remember, shift click. Shift click is your friend. You don't have to remember where anything goes in there. And we're going to need these guys. We're going to need pulsating iron nuggets. So need 2 of those. Got diamonds in there. Should be good with that. And we need a machine chassis. And we'll need a diamond hoe. We're actually going to need 1 to create it, and then 1 for inside. Now, I could do diamond hoe. I could do a very and that'll last a long time. I can make a tinker's hoe. Go over here and make one of these, like, this guy here, right? A Maddock. That's a couple different ways. You can also go with the crafter and have it auto create like cheap, like wood hose. Then you got to feed it with wood. And now I'm kind of getting in a lot of wood, right? I mean, I'm up to 31 stacks of wood here. I'm getting ready to have to put a void on here. So that might be a way to go. But for right now, I'm just going to do a diamond hoe. And you know what? This is only going to run 10 seconds every, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe every hour. I don't know how long we're going to set this up. We'll kind of play it by ear, but I think this is going to last me forever. So that's my rationale. You could definitely do things more efficiently. If you're doing tree farms and stuff where it's running all the time, absolutely. That's the right way to go, is auto crafting those things. Okay, good. I think we have everything we need, right? Right. Let's go. Let's do it. Oh, look at our zombie jerky. So you can see that it's already currently dried. I'm going to grab these, and we'll see. Once I get some hunger, oops, didn't need to click. So actually I have an extra one here. Once I get hungry, I'll be able to show that. So I can't do anything right now. I can't eat right now. So this is a 7x7 by default without any upgrades. That's going to be plenty. Remember I said I wanted 49 when we were in the end? Now, if you recall, our chunk loader is in this chunk right there, and it does a 3x3. So this chunk that we're in, oh man, that's so high. Look at that. I don't even need creative flight or a jetpack. And I've got, yeah, it's awesome. Anyway, I love this armor. So it's this chunk here going horizontally and this chunk plus the one way over there. And we did that because we didn't consider chunk lines, and we're still over here in case we want to build mana, as well as these GP. Now, I want to say something real quick. When I leave this area, if this wasn't chunk loaded, it remembers how much grid power you have, and therefore you do not have to chunk load this. You do not have to chunk load this because it remembers how much grid power you have at maximum when you unload the chunk. However, when you log back in, it will forget that. That's the reason you would want to chunk load those. You do not need it for normal operation. If this were not chunk loaded and I walk away and that chunk isn't loaded, I'd still be able to create a fly. Okay, that's why oftentimes when you leave the dimension, when you relog, there's a good chance that it will unload that and forget the how much GP you were loading. So just wanted to point that out. Okay, so considering so we should be able to go that chunk way over there, this one right here, and this one are all chunk loaded. So I could put it right here. I could put it right here. I could put it up here Frankly, I don't want it in this chunk. I could put it over there, but I kind of decided I want to do it over here. So I'm thinking if I put it here, I have to wiggle around the corner. Otherwise, I fall into ender pearls. So if I do it right here, it's going to save me a lot of work. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So right there is enough to do a 7 by 7. Okay. So we can go in here and put our put this on top. And so what that'll do is it'll start filling up with RF. Oh, that's right. Is it actually going to work? Yeah. So this is one of those that, there we go. Now it should be filling up. Yep. Okay. So it auto turns on is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so it's filling up with RF, but let me show you what this does. So we have set it to redstone active. So let's talk about this. Oh, I think I showed this to you before, but I wanted to reiterate in case there's new viewers. Whatever corner I'm facing or my cursor is on, when I place down these RF tool devices, it will angle towards. So if I do it this way, the orange goes to that corner. If I point down to this corner of this block and I place it, it'll be facing backwards. So in case you ever wondered why it changed, people hopping all around and, oh, that's huge. That's a big jump. Wow. In case you wanted, people are doing all kinds of things, all you have to do is just look at what corner you want it to face. So I want it to face this way, so I place right there. It works flawlessly every time. Okay, the way this works, it looks really complicated, excuse me, is that this is disabled. Everything's off. No redstone ticks whatsoever. So this is what it does is it starts here and it just starts working across. And sorry, it goes this way, and then it goes this way, and then it goes this way. Every, whatever this is, 1 tick. If I set it to here, every 10 ticks, it'll do this, then it'll wait 10 ticks, and it'll do this, and so on. It's that simple. So all we have to do is, let's say we turn this on, and let's do a whole bunch of this. All right, let's do like half of it. So every few seconds we should see it's most of the time spending off. So we probably won't even catch it because it's kind of slow. So let's do this like half of it. All right, and we'll do 20. All right, so now that should kick on. Half the time it should be off, half the time it should be on. All right. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Oh, sorry. This is the other thing we need to set. This is loop once. It already did it. So what we want to do is loop the cycle all the time and ignore any additional redstone signals coming in. So what it's going to do is it's going to stay on 1 second for every single one of these. Okay, so now let's set it back down to, let's say 2. Okay, and you'll see it turns off for half the time, turns on for half the time. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. It's pretty straightforward. Even at that, let's see if we're at, let's say a baseline here. Yeah, okay, so 9,500. Yeah, it's going to slowly lose power. So if we were to back some of these off, right, and run less, or we can increase the delay, and then we could get to a point where we are actually filling up. So there's 5,900, 6,000, 6,200, oh, going back down, and 5,300, 5,400. So that right there might be close enough to filling back up. No, it looks like it's still slowing down, but there's many different ways to do this. Let's set it to 20. And so really this is going to be 1 second. So it's going to be on for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 seconds. It's going to be off the rest of the time. So that's all it takes to turn this guy off. And in theory, this guy will be filling up and staying. Well, I just started zombie, just making sure must be below us. So this should be enough to keep this charging on this low thing, run every once in a while. In fact, I don't even want to run that much. I want it to run, let's say we set this to, oops, sorry. Let's do this for consistency's sake. So here's the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to say so this is 1 second. This is 10 seconds. This would be 100 seconds. All right, so let's say we want it to run every 100 seconds, and it will run for 100 seconds. I'm sorry, it's not going to run every 100 seconds. It would run 100 seconds, and then wait for 100 more seconds and 100 more seconds and 100 more seconds and 100 more seconds and 100 more, and you get the point, right? So that's what that would do on the other extreme. So I'm thinking, let's run for, so here we're basically 10 seconds. We let it run for 10 seconds and it stays off for all the rest of these. So these are 63 times 10 seconds. It's going to stay off. That's it. That's it. This will now fill up. Of course, we're slowing down and it's at what? 2%, 2 RF, because we're getting dark here. So that's all it takes. That now allows me to use significantly less power, turn off chunk borders, significantly less power for that guy, and run it on that cheap power cell. So how's that? That's pretty cool, huh? Let's grab the rest of this stuff up here. And let's grab, we're going to need 49 of these guys. We're going to need 49 of these guys. That's the quickest way. And then let's sleep to get it day. All right, and we'll get our fancy dancy little builder wand here. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to go for it. All right, so actually, you know what? I'm going to bring all this up one level. I'm going to place it down, and we're going to go up one level, so it's kind of level with this. So give me a moment. I'm going to cut, and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So I just laid this out here, threw a little wood around it. I did bump this up to 400, just, I don't know, just playing, right? So let's watch this guy run. Let's throw it inside. I got a little bit of energy built up, right? It's 10 of 10 RF. So it's building up, no problem. Let's throw these in here. And we're going to need the diamond hoe, not to plant. Doesn't need it to plant. So actually what we can do is watch. So it'll actually go through here and plant it, no problem. Out of power? No. Why is it placed in the last few? Interesting. Well, it'll sort itself out. So I want to turn that back on, and we'll put that in for its use, and we're good to go. Now I am going to lose one spot, so there'll be one extra, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. This is now self-sustaining. I wonder why it's saying no seeds. Oh, you know what? I know why. Duh. It's in the wrong quadrant. There we go. Now it should run. So to prove it, there we go. All right, and it's going to want more over here, and more over here. Probably wants them all over here. I should have just grabbed extra. There we go. Oh, it still needs one more. Is that enough? And we're out of power. It'll take care of itself. I'm not that worried about it. In fact, what we can do is we can plan it manually ourselves. Let's put this back. All right, there we go. And boom. Okay, so that's a completed build. That's all it takes, and we're going to start rolling in. Now, it will store it internally here. What we can do is actually create some conduits underneath here, under the ground, or however we want to do this. That's one way. The dimensional transceivers, we could put that underneath or whatever, and it will it would automatically send it back. So we're not there yet. We just don't have enough infrastructure in place to want to have to go grind out Enderman and so on. So with that said, we're at the wrapping up point. So some really good stuff today. I wanted to thank you guys for all your comments. It's been absolutely wonderful. I'm really enjoying this series. I am learning a lot from you guys. I'm helping others. They've told me I'm helpful, so I really appreciate the support you guys have given me. And if you liked it, show your support by liking and subscribing, and I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.